3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Forex Trading Show. Forex trading live every weekday morning. Real trades, real profits, zero analysis. Set back, relax, and get ready to profit. And now, your host, Terry from FXWithTerry.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, April 7th, 10:01 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 1:01 p.m. Eastern Time. We are live. You are welcome to get all of the free consulting you would like right here in this live video. Or if you want some free consulting, not in a live video, come on over to FXWithTerry.com, join the Discord group, get involved in the conversation. I'm going to open up your eyes to a lot of things today. More content today than I would have time to talk about, but we have a lot going on, a lot moving forward. Brokers and bots and algorithms and profits and markets and things like that. Couple things I'm going to get into, something I'm wanting to say, but I got some notes here, so I'll wait a little bit. But a few things that we'll be covering today. So the first thing is we're going to cover two different robots that are absolutely crushing it right now in the current market, and keep that in mind, current market. And bots that I'm trading on my own personal live accounts and are doing really, really well that you are going to get access to here in the group. And another one, stay tuned for, I think, probably the best thing I've ever done, which is the Random Trader series. It not only teaches a new person how to enter a manual trade and what things to look for when managing their account, but also teaches traders exactly that, how to manage your account, what to look at. We do it every day, and the results of this random trade entry have been incredible. It's intended to get into a bad trade and have it go against us and have us have to manage it. We haven't had to do that once in what? The last two weeks at least. So impressive. If you're new to Forex trading, stay tuned for my Random Trader entry series. We're going to go through all of the accounts right now. One of those will be the Random Trader series. We'll jump into it. And if you just watch that every day, you will learn, although it's manual trade entry, you will learn how to manage things and when to start managing things with your own live account. What do I really mean by manage things? It's when, as a robot trader, it's this. I get that we're practicing with manual entries and all this stuff. That's because you need to kind of get a feel for it. You need to get your hands on it. You need to be looking at it. You need to understand what's going on. But when you're managing an account as a robot trader, it simply means changing robots. That's it. How do you change a robot? You literally, in MetaTrader 4, drag the robot file from the window on the left onto the chart. End of story. The only other, how long did that take? 2 seconds? 1 second? 1.2 seconds, I think. And then the only other thing you'd have to do potentially is add what's called a set file to the robot, which takes another 3 seconds, maybe 10. I think you can do the whole thing in 30 seconds if you're really not that good at it. So we're talking really, really simple and easy. As I get into this stuff and start telling you, I'm so close and intimate with it, I can tend to get a little overly technical. So try not to do that, but I certainly know how this stuff works. So once let's just put this story all together here. Once you've toyed around with some manual trade entries, once you've seen what I'm doing, once you see the numbers that I'm looking at, you'll be able to look at any robot at any given time on your account. And you'll be able to look at it on your mobile device and say to yourself, here, I'll hold my, and say to yourself, it's time to get out of this scenario. So I'm going to go to my virtual private server, my Windows computer in the cloud, click, and I'm going to drag the recovery robot, which I reveal to you if you're inside the system as a subscriber. And or I've been running the recovery robot for a lot of people. I've been putting it on their accounts. It's not intended to do that. It's intended for you to have a server and do it yourself. Anyway, we're going to get to all of that stuff. Let's run down through the account. Market seems extremely favorable right now. It just does. We are looking at the free signal. There is no free signal right now. We are going to launch that momentarily. If we look back for the week, last week I delivered in this account. Each account is different. You might have a bigger account. You might have a smaller account. Whatever you bid is relevant to your account, and you'll figure that out. You'll also get a little bit of feel for how to do that. You know, what your bid should be account-wise based off of my random trader entry series that is coming up here today, like we do every day. So you're welcome. I delivered over $775 worth of free signal trades last week. You can't make this stuff up. Now, these free signal trades actually come directly from my algorithm. So what we're going to do now, since we don't have a trade in the system, is I'm going to open up the main algorithm. Not a lot of open trades right now. It seems that the market is closing things out. Maybe getting ready for something. I got something in my fucking throat this morning, and I just cannot get it out. Really going to hamper my yelling at you. So let's go to the pause screen. Let's go pick out a free signal trade. I'm just switching accounts here. I'm going to go to the main full algorithm that comes out to you guys. It is, man, I'll tell you what, my eyes, 8776. There it is, right in front of me. Let me share this with you. So not a lot. I mean, the market movement right now, when you look at this, $12, $13 in drawdown. 2 pairs open out of 22. Just some of the weirdest ass market movement I've ever seen in my life. However, remember, this is the feed. This is the main algorithm. It's taking trades at a 0.01 base lot size, 10 cents, lowest bid you can make. This is scalable. You could scale this up at any amount for any size account. You could trade this on a $100 account. You could trade this on a $10 million account or more. It's all scalable to that. It's not just, let's say you had a $10,000 account, you're like, well, all you're bidding is 0.01. No, you can scale my trades up to anything you want. So history-wise, look at this thing overnight. It's closing trades at 10 cents. It's closed $31.61, which is about an average amount of closure, even though we don't have a lot of trades. It's like, someone said this in the group this morning. They said that trades are entering and going right into profit. So we have some very favorable conditions today. Okay, that can change. It will change. I hear there's a lot of news coming out this week. But I have to tell you, I hear this a lot from people. The Forex market will tell you to be afraid of the news, to be afraid of news events. I don't look at it that way at all. I'm not going to stay out of the market because it looks like there's a lot of news this week. News creates volatility, creates movement. Movement creates trade entries. Trade entries create profit. I want to be in that, and especially with our algorithm. We're not necessarily like a trend trading, right? So if price is bouncing all over the place, I like that better than trending. However, there are trend-focused algorithms and bots. All right. What trade are we going to jump into? Neither of these look anything favorable to jump into right now. what I want to do is I'm going to go to the pause. Well, you know what? We'll get there. I was going to go look at the other accounts and see what trades are going. Let's just grab one of these. I'm going to go for NZD USD, a little bit more aggressive pair. So we've got two. We're going to get into the second one. I'm going to take you to the pause here. I'm going to go to my server, and I'm going to launch this trade. What do we say? NZD USD. So I'm typing that in. I'm telling the system to only trade one pair because it's the free signal, and I'm going to get into the second trade. Okay. Before I do that, let me go back before I share this with you. Let me go back to the free signal so you can see this immediately when I enter it. I'm telling the AI system, and if you were running my algorithm, if you were using my AI system on your own server, which I'm going to suggest that you do, you would have the ability to do exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm literally going to the AI system, and I'm saying, take this currency pair, which is currently in play, and give me the second trade in the sequence, because there's two of them, and bid X dollars, right? So launch me to that trade. So I'm going to hit OK here. And it's thinking about it. Now, we have had, I hate to say this, have had some broker slowage, broker issues with CoinEx. Let me try this one more time, because you know this always works. Oh, I see why it didn't. Maybe I should type it in. Maybe I should type it into the right area. That was my fault. I'm talking and doing it at the same time. NZD USD. This should work now. And it does. Let me bring you back to reality here. I clicked on the wrong account. Stand by. Here it is. Here we are. Free trade. Okay. Free signal. The free signal is managed automatically. It's pulled directly from my algorithm. It will completely manage itself. You can see it's the comment here, FX with Terry free signals. The take profit price 0.55491. If you're new and you have no idea what the hell we're looking at here, once we get in a little bit here to my random trade entry series, I'll go into this in detail. The numbers we're looking at, the things you should look at, the things you're thinking of, and I will repeat it every day until you get it. It's the easiest thing in the world. So that's headed towards profit. But if my algorithm scales into another trade because the price goes against, you will see that show up here. You'll be notified inside of the Discord group in the Trade Signals free area. You'll see the updates. In fact, let's just go look at it right now. So this makes it a little bit more clear to everyone. So let me pull up the group. Let me share screen right here. So here we are in the Discord group. Over here in the left-hand menu is Trade Signals free. Okay. In fact, you see it's highlighted here because we just had this update. So when I entered that automatically, the system's pretty cool. When I entered that automatically, it automatically made a notification here in the group of the trade. New order, NZD USD buy. So this is the first in this particular sequence. And you can see it tells you what the take profit should be, and it gives you some other factors, and you get a little bit of a screenshot, like what's this thing doing, right? Looks like it's pushed down and pulling back. We're in a buy trade anyway. If you're paying attention to the group and you see another new order on top of this NZD USD, which will be the exact same pair, then you'll want to scale into it. Just pay attention to the lots. I've got it set more visually than anything. Visually meaning it says lots 0.10. So we're doing a base bid of $1. That way is if you are already in a trade at whatever lot size you're in, if my system goes into another trade and it increases that lot or that bid, then you're going to want to equally increase yours because it's math. That math, when you enter and update, the take profit will change on every trade entered. It basically brings the take profit closer and closer and closer, whichever direction, up or down, closer to the current price. Forex goes like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And, you know, as the take profit is closer and the price is going up and down, then you end up taking profit. And it's just dynamics and mathematics. That's all it is. Don't think it's anything complicated. All right, so back to looking at the free signal here. Looking good. Enter if you want. Don't enter if you don't want to. If you're brand new, yes, I'm giving you the automated signal in a manual way here, okay? Because you would have to go enter this and follow along with it. Just know that there's a learning curve there. However, my system is fully automated. So you can actually, in the first 14 days coming into the group, I will actually give you a free 14-day trial where if you want, you can have access either to this account, the one that we're looking at right now, or we could copy this through the Social Trader Tools platform directly to your account. Don't do it live if you're new. Do it to a demo account. Don't do it to real money. But it's probably just as easy to get access to this, and you do have access to this. If you're inside your 14-day trial and you want access to this to monitor the free signal, let me know. Most people are outside of that 14-day trial, so at that point you need to subscribe. What are you waiting for? Crazy. Once you see some of the stuff I'm showing you today, if you don't jump in and subscribe, you're probably batshit crazy. That's a technical term. All right, more coffee. What now? We already looked at the full algo. We're in the free signal trade. Let's move down the list and just look at some of the other accounts. So the next one I'm going to pull up here is what's called the 10 pip hybrid. And it allows us to trade a subset of currency pairs, and it's been doing really well. I haven't looked at it here. It's currently trading both NZD USD pairs. If you look at the history overnight, and again, it's a feed, it's minimum lot size, you can scale this up. But if you look overnight, it's closed $13.92. Scale that up, times 2, times 3, times 5. You don't need to make a lot of money trading Forex. So many people come into Forex and they want Forex to be an income. The moment you push Forex that hard to create an income, it can be done. But you have to have the skill set to manage the aggressiveness, the volatility, because you're trading more than you probably should. But if you pull it back, I've said before, go do the math yourself. $50 saved in Bitcoin right now is $500,000 in 10 years. It might be less than that. We'll have to pull up the calculator. But I just ran this the other day. $50 turns into $500,000 after 5 to 10 years. I probably should say 10 years. I think it might be smaller, shorter than that. So that's incredible. Make a little bit, hold it in Bitcoin. I'm telling you, I get that everybody wants to get into Forex to get rich. The moment you try to get rich in Forex is the moment you blow it out. I'm not saying I can't get rich in Forex. I'm not saying I'm not rich in Forex. The point is not me. I mean, I got this locked down. If it was just about me, I wouldn't even be offering this to the world. But this is such a good system, and I'm so passionate about Forex trading that I'm over here sharing it with you. Do what you will with it. So, what are we looking at here? That's the 10 pip hybrid. Let me come back to the pause and go down the screen here. Next one is gold. Let's look at the gold. Pretty interesting what happened with gold last night. And so there's no trade right now, you can see. But last night, the gold scalper feed jumped into a trade, immediately made $15.86 or $15.71 and got out. I tell it to make $10 a day. So that was really nice, really easy, and that's scalable. You know, I think we were in this trade. How long were we in this trade? So 106.48, 106.40. Is that right? We were in that trade for 5 seconds. Am I looking at the right thing here? We were in that trade for 5 seconds. That's impressive. You ain't doing that manually. I'm sorry, my friend. You're not doing it manually. That's why we trade with an algorithm. The ultimate power that we have is I show you the best algorithms, I show you the best bots, I give you the best settings, which is ever changing, and I give you the ability to say, I might have went too far. I don't like I might have bid too much. I don't like what the algorithm I have right now is doing to my account. I want out. So I give you the ability to drag and drop a custom. It's commercial, but it's very customized. You can buy it, but it's called a recovery robot. You put it right onto your trade as long as you have the right settings. I want you to think of, we have robots and set files. I want you to think of it this way. A robot is a computer without any instructions. Let's make it simpler. A robot is a computer with no electrical cord. The set file is the electrical cord. So if you got a computer and no electrical cord, you ain't getting anywhere. But if you got a computer and you can plug it in, hence if you have a robot and you can activate the set file, it's literally called file.set, right? File.set. I have one called recovery.set. It goes with the recovery robot. So you can go buy the recovery robot all day long. If you don't have my set file, if you don't have my power cord for the robot, it doesn't do anything for you. It just doesn't. Listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. You might be able to go out and spend a couple years like I did and figure out these settings and watch these robots run on visual data for hours and hours and days and weeks and months and years. I did that. And I went, how can I tweak these settings to stop it from ruining my account every 3 days? And that's basically my skill set. I'm like, oh, I see what it's doing. Let's do this. Or let's add this module, this AI module on top of the robot and get it to stop doing that one crazy thing that it does. So that's the value. What were we looking at here? Okay, so this is gold. Let's move on here. Gold, scalper feed, very impressive. In the very near future, when I move everyone over to a virtual private server and you're trading your own bots, I'm going to give you the gold scalper robot. It's a commercial robot. You go buy it without the settings, because there's a lot of settings in it. Without my custom set file, it doesn't do shit for you. I should say this. Without my custom set file, it blows your account out. Not trying to be rude, but I'm pretty good at creating set files and getting these things to work. Vince says a trading robot with the correct settings is useless. I don't think you really mean to say that. A trading robot with correct settings is powerful, or without the correct settings. Oh, I see you said without. A trading robot without the correct settings is useless. All right, I see that now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm not making that up. I know of a free robot, one that I will introduce you guys to off of the MQL5 marketplace. It's free. I could tell you, go run this robot. You'd probably do okay for a little while. But if I gave you my settings, you'd be like, it's night and day. Like what? You changed one number on these settings of 20 different settings, and it's night and day? It is. It's experience. That's the experience you're kind of getting from me, is automated robot trading and the set files to make it work. So, all right, where was I going here? So that was gold. We looked at the free signal. Let's go look. Kind of interesting. Euro GBP is pushing through the roof. So let's take a look at, I believe I have it here. Let me say this before I speak. Yep, I do. So the stable profits feed trades Euro GBP, and this is a robot that you'll be able to have. We are 3, 4, 5, 6 trades deep. That is a huge push away from the median price for the British pound. But this, it's slow. It's going to feel good. You can bid more with this because it's just slow. So look at it on the chart here. This is the day chart. Look at what Euro GBP has done. If you think of it this way, mathematically, this area down in here, this area down in here is what's called the median price. I know that because I know where it's at on this particular algorithm and the chart. But that's the median price. So what happens is you can see the price pushes up and away from the median and it comes back. And that's when the robot takes trades on the way up and then it takes profit on the way down. It's doing the exact same thing here. It's just a hell of a push before it comes back and comes down. That's how it works. It pushes out and away and it comes back. It's slow. That's why I called it the stable profits feed. It's something that you can set and forget at a conservative lot size and it doesn't stress you out, or you can push this thing to the limits because it doesn't exceed the limits quickly. So you could increase your bid. Let's say you increase your bid and you got up here somewhere and you're like, I went too far. It's 6 trades, didn't expect that, I've bid too much. You can literally, if you're running this robot on your own virtual private server, Windows cloud computer, you literally will grab the robot from a window on the left, drop it onto the chart, and it takes over and gets you out of this because you went too far. The power of doing that and the potential of pretty high profits even in recovery. When I go into recovery, I just went out of the trade at break even. But you're going to see that the recovery system, based off of the price action at that moment in time on that currency pair, that recovery bot might get you out at a really high profit. It typically does if you've let the account go way too far. Then it has to work really hard. It's going to extract probably a lot more profit out of the market than your original trade would have been. I'm not suggesting you do that. That's batshit crazy to overtrade like that. There you go. You like all my scribble. But this is a great trade, a great feed. Yes, it's pushing away from the median. You'll be fine. It's slow. But you also have the ability, or will have the ability, to simply drag and drop a recovery system onto that and go, I want out. I mean, obviously this account, margin level percent is 454,000. I'm sleeping on that all day long. Or I should say all night long. What's next? I'm going to show you something here, and I can only really describe it, but this is a bot, a direct bot that you'll be able to run on your own server, on your own account, on your own accounts. This one is probably my second top favorite right now. So let me pull up the account here, and I'm going to share it with you. Give me a second because I have a ton of accounts, and especially this one. So I want you to look at this. I started this out as a $5,000 account. You can see there's no trades. I really like this concept. What I'm going to give you, this trading concept, you're going to hear it and feel it in just about everything I do. Not all of it, but just about. So this is what's called, and we can go look, let's go look at the results while I'm talking about this. So it made $198.89 last night. I told it to make $200 and get the hell out. So this is impressive. Get in, make money, get out. That's one of the themes that you're going to see me with a lot of these algorithms. I love that. It's working really well in the current market. It doesn't always work. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory here. I run a robot. What's the word I want to look for? Certainly a robot portfolio. I don't think that's the word. My brain's freezing because I want to tell you the details here. Incubator. I run a robot incubator. I don't know why that word wouldn't come to me. So what that means is I track dozens and dozens of robots at any given time. And I sort them out in this automated spreadsheet database that is another robot that tracks all the other. So my robots are being tracked by a robot. But nonetheless, I can sort it by return to drawdown, let's say. The return of profit in relation to how much money it used from the account drawdown to trade. And this is one of those bots that in some market, it's a grid trading robot. I'll just put it out there. A grid simply means that you put it on a currency pair, and based off of the volatility of that currency pair, you tell it to enter a trade, a buy and a sell, because it's a grid as it goes up and goes down. You tell it to enter a buy and a trade every, in this case, I have it set at 80 pips. So every 80 pips, it will buy and sell. And that's all it does. So there's no entry strategy. It just, as soon as you turn it on, it does a buy and a sell. And then that's the start of its grid. Okay? I'm going to get a little geeky technical on you here, but I love this stuff. You're going to love this too. So me even telling you that, you might go, well, when's the best time to turn it on? Because there are bad times to turn it on. Like, for example, if the price is in the center here, if the median price is in the center and the price pushes up and down pretty much equally, presses up, comes back to the middle, presses down, comes back to the middle. If you have an indicator that tells you what the middle is, and guess what? I have one, and I'll make it available to you. It's custom programmed from some other company, but it's free. You can actually get it for free. It will tell you when that currency pair is at the median price. So I looked, this currency pair GBP/JPY was at the median price, and I put it into motion, meaning it will move up and away from the median price and then back, and it'll move down and away and move back, and it will trade in that grid. And the moment that it has taken enough profit and the drawdown is less than the profit, basically the drawdown and the profit is equal to 200, shuts the whole thing down, pops a button up on the screen and says, would you like to resume? Now that is cool as hell. That is pure flexibility. So you can say, I made $200 last night. You know, frankly, holding $200, putting away $200 a week in Bitcoin for the next 5 years can potentially make you a multi-millionaire. So I only had to do one trade, one set of trades, one day. I think this entire, because the market movement is really good right now, the market moved and created my nearly $200 profit in pretty much a few minutes. If I looked at the times, 23:34, maybe certainly within 12 hours. It's less than that. So this is impressive. And this is a bot that you will be able to get access to. Put it right on one of your accounts. I am actually trading this live. This is actually live. Now, this algorithm, I'm copying it to quite a few other accounts. And you can probably see it. I've got it on like a 5K account. I've got it on like a 3 or 4K account. And it's crushing it right now. It's crushing it. Don't get caught up in the fact that it's GBP/JPY. I wanted to do something that moves and is aggressive. That can be a little bit dangerous to trade. A little bit high risk. I shouldn't say dangerous. High risk. Not dangerous, right? It's dangerous to cross the street. But this is high risk as far as your funds and putting your funds at risk. Risk of what? Risk of loss. But with no risk, there's no reward. But it's not high risk. This is pretty cool because guess what? If this particular account, see, I started with $5,000. It made $233. I think if we look back for the week, there's some trades. Oh, no, this is one that I was testing it on. So there's quite a bit of loss there. It was not a loss on this algorithm. And so don't be like, oh, I caught you. This is not a loss on this algorithm. This was US 30 loss because of the CoinEx. So I just repositioned this, and it's running where it needs to now. So nonetheless, this I've been testing this for a long time. This algorithm didn't just start working today. This has been working for months and months. But you can't really, not that I can't, but it comes down to cost and feasibility. You can't really turn this into a copy trade feed. It has to be very unique to your account. You know, if you're asking a $100 account to make $200 a night, you're in trouble. But if I'm asking a $5,000 account to make $200 a night, that's very possible. And again, you have that button where you can say, go ahead and re-enter. So you can just wait a couple days if you want to. You don't have to be in the market all the time. So there's another theme you're going to hear. I like to get into time windows and not be in the market 24/7, because that's when you get wrecked because something goes crazy in the middle of the night. Same thing with this though. If this basket of trades just started getting out of control, I would literally drag the recovery system onto that chart, the GBP JPY chart that has this algorithm on it, and it would get me out 9 times out of 10. So really, really cool, powerful stuff. So this is a bot that you'll get access to. Let me go back to the pause. It's literally just called a grid trading robot. There are dozens and dozens of them out there. Most of them are complicated. This one has like just a couple settings that you need to tweak. And the amount of flexibility and creativity, once you understand how these bots work, you can go, well, I could tweak this in this given market, because that's what I'm doing. I'm looking going, hey, the grid trader was at the top for the last 2 months. Now all of a sudden it's dropping. What's going on? Go look at it. Oh, I could tweak this setting. I'm asking a little too much from this bot in this current market. So I update the settings. Oh, there we go. We just entered another free signal trade on top of. We'll go back and look at that. Let's go look. So the algorithm has added a trade. Let's go back and look at this real quick, just so you can see what the numbers are. So, you know what? I'm wrong. I am wrong. Here's how wrong I am. It just took profit. You saw me do that. It just took profit. Very cool. Very cool. So $28.70. That was quick. The market's been doing that all night long. Enter, profit. Enter, profit. It's not always like that. It's favorable right now. Probably designed to sucker you into a bunch of trades because it feels favorable and then take all of your money. But we have tools and things that prevent that from happening. So cool. Free signal, in and out. In and out. You're welcome. How long did that last? 15 minutes? We were in that trade 15 minutes? All right, cool. So, let's move on here. We just looked at my grid. This is pretty cool. I'll show you one of my live accounts that even impresses me. I'm trading the one profitable pair feed on this account. And it is crushing it right now. $77 drawdown. It's 100 and I started this at a 100K account. I've come up. I came up $17,000 just at the end of last week. So anyway, look at this. Closure overnight. I'm trading the one profitable pair feed. It's a custom feed pulling one profitable pair at a time from my main algorithm. Look at this thing. Not one loss last night. Trade after trade after trade after trade. If you are doing anything other than plugging into what I have here, you're batshit crazy. I don't know what to tell you. This is the best thing on the face of the earth. And we have complete control. If we have a bad day, we put the recovery system on it and move on. This is the easiest system in the world. The best system in the world, the easiest system in the world. I'm not biased. I don't see anything better. You go ahead and show me something better, please. Show me something better. So $585.59 overnight. That's pretty good. That's really, really good. Back to the pause here. The OPP feed, did we look at that? Let's look at it real quick, and then we'll jump into the random trader and another bot that I want to share with you. So let's see here. The OPP feed, 87.97. I don't think we've looked at it. Probably not. We are in the other pair that was open, AUD-CAD. And what has closed overnight? $15.98. This is the feed. This is the lowest level bid, so it's scalable. So it's nothing but profit overnight. Not one losing trade all night. Fully automated. Entries automated, exits automated, take profits automated, recovery is automated. Absolutely incredible results. You can see here in the comment, one profitable pair. That is the feed that we are trading. All right. Other trade notifications going off. What had? New order, NZD USD sell. Isn't that interesting? Didn't we? And a new order, AUD USD sell. Okay. Getting a little bit of movement there. And that's from the main algorithm. All right, what is next? I think I'm going to save the random trader for last. Yeah. Well, let's do one. Let's do the next robot that will be available that I'm going to recommend and what it does and how cool it is. And then we'll end with the random trader. So let me pull this up. It is going to be this one. Stand by, my friends. This is the one. This is the one where I'm going to have to dig for it. So give me a second. I don't know why this is not on here. I know I have multiple different accounts. I really want you to see this. Let's see. I think this might be right. Nope, that's not right. I got it here. Stand by. Here it is. All right, awesome. So this started out as a $3,000 account at, I believe, the end of last week. We can look at the history. And this is what's called, you've heard me talk about this, I've been testing this for a while. This is a robot that I love running on my own accounts, and it has the same flavor. Forget that we're trading the exact same pair, GBP, JPY. I love to test that pair. But it's also a good mover. GBP, JPY moves a lot. You can make a lot of money with it. You can also lose your account quickly with it. Don't be afraid of that. I'm not saying you're going to. I'm just trying to be transparent with you. However, if you have an algorithm that you really understand how it works, this one's pretty cool. This is called my double hedge robot. And it's commercially available out there. How much does it cost? I don't know, probably costs $200, $300, $400. I can get you a discount on this, and I'll be offering that stuff as part of, once you come into the membership, the subscription. So what this does is I told it to trade GBP JPY. I told it to apply hedging to protect the account so I can bid more up front than I might normally. Look at my bid here, 0.50 lot size on a $3,000 account. Most people would tell you that's not very smart. It's very smart here because what this thing will do is it will trade the buy and the sell. So it immediately enters a buy and a sell, so your account's immediately protected. Protected from no margin level, no margin calls. Okay, margin call is when you've overtraded, overbid, used too much, you're using too much of the money, or the algorithm is using too much of the money from your account to trade. You get margined out. That's not going to happen here because it goes, I'm not saying it couldn't, but it goes into a buy and a sell, and it just cancels that potential account negative. It just cancels it out. So what it did here was it traded the profitable side, which was the sell side here, to $288.53, and it got out. Okay, that buy trade was still in there, and I remember looking at it. It was about a $400 drawdown. So the price pushes, it comes back. It pushes, it comes back. It pushes down, it comes back to a median price. That's essentially what this thing does. So it was about $400 in drawdown, the buy trade, and then the price started to pull back, started to bounce back, and the moment it got to minus $182.18, mathematically, that leaves us $100 profit. It closes the whole thing down, shuts off for the night, and doesn't start again until the next evening. That, you see that theme. Make me some money, get out of the market. Make me some money, get out of the market. I love this. I'm running this on my live accounts. It is really cool. And if you want to be out of the market, turn it off. It's not in the market continuously. That does not mean that one of these sides, the buy or the sell side, couldn't just go sideways for 2 days and do absolutely nothing. That could happen. I've seen it happen. But then all of a sudden it moves and closes the whole thing down, gives you your $100 profit. So I've pretty consistently Let me give you something that's very ethical and consistent and truthful. If you ran this algorithm, you're saying to yourself, that's $100 a day. That's $500 a week on a $3,000 account. Well, that's exactly what it is, my friend. Theoretically, moving forward, if you ran this and you ran it on a daily basis, you could make anywhere from $200 to $500 a week. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And if it gets away from you, if you bid too much, if the market's not favorable for this algorithm, you drag onto the recovery system, onto the chart, on this, in this case, GBP, JPY, and you just get out. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. The level of confidence that using my system gives you as a trader, that you're like, I don't really like what's going on, you get out. Here's what most people do. I hate to say this, you know who you are, but most people are like, oh, this is not going very well for me. Maybe it'll come back. I'll wait and see. I'll hope. Hope is an empty box that you carry around with the, it's a box with the lids open. It's empty. And you just walk around with it, waiting for someone else to put something in it. That's what hope is. I don't live that way. Certainly don't trade Forex based off of hope. Trade Forex with a skill set. How do you do that? You do it on what we're about to do next. I'm going to pull up the random trader account. If you're new, pay attention to this. If you're not new, I know there's people that absolutely love watching this series because of the sheer luck we're having. It's not luck, it's skill set. And I'm going to show you how everything you need to know to be a trader by watching my random trade entry here. So let me pull up the account. It is specifically this one. I will show you. I believe we started this. We started this at a $5,000 account. It's now $8,443. If you look at the history for the week, last week, we made $3,425.72. We didn't lose one trade. Listen to me. I get that we're getting lucky. I'm trading this random style so I can get unlucky, so I can show you how to manage. But you can see, if you have the skill set, you're going to do extremely well. So every trade, every random, we didn't use an indicator. We didn't look at the charts. We didn't analyze anything. So the last trade was this Euro Chief buy. I believe we did that on Friday, and it took profit on Friday, I'm pretty sure. So $720.99. Look at these trades: 588, 252, 681, 183. That one at the top, USD CHF, 1062. This is real stuff. Real stuff, real time. Let's go to the browser here. Let me pull it up, and then I will share with you my random entry trading wheel. The wheel of profits. Right here. Okay? So you can see, I told you, we got out of that EUR-CHF trade buy. So I'm just going to close this. I'm going to click the wheel again. And let's do a random trade entry. Completely random. Spin the wheel where it stops. Nobody knows. Either way, it will be profitable. It will be profitable. Looks like CAD JPY sell. So everyone else showing you the 3-bar entry, the Wagyu beef price, ICT, fair value, market gap, Ichimoku cloud, MACD entry strategy with the 47 rules, or you can just spin a goddamn wheel. That's all you got to do. Just spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. I probably should sell the wheel. It's free for you to create on the internet, but I should sell this for $100. The ultimate wins every time currency trader. All right, back to where I want to be here. Into the account, CAD JPY sell. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to walk you through this and draw on the screen. This is for those who have no idea what they're doing. This is the easiest thing in the world. Everything I show you here is something I will repeat every day. So I need to trade CAD JPY sell. And I keep going back to that screen. CAD JPY sell. So I'm going to click the quotes button down here and in the lower left, and I'm looking for CAD JPY. There it is, right in the screen. So I'm going to hold my thumb over that till we get a menu. There's the menu. And I'm going to click, obviously, trade. Let's just go look at this. I'm not going to analyze it. I'm just going to click trade. And remember how I entered the bid of like 3.0. You can see that's what it was set at here. This is your bid price. CAD JPY. We're going to sell, like the random wheel said. I'm going to bring my bid back, although we're making profits, so that increases kind of like my account's size and ability to trade more. I'm going to pull this back. I'd like to enter the trade here, and this is just me, but it gives you a focus. I'd like to enter a bid, so I'll just click that, get rid of what's there, at probably about a 2.70 lot size. So $27 per pip instead of 30, because I'd like to enter this. I don't know where we're going to be. That's where practice comes in. But I'd like to enter this sell trade and have my margin level percent somewhere at 2,000 or above. Okay, let's see if we're there. Every currency pair is going to be mathematically different, but I'm kind of going based off of the fact that we went into a 3.0 lot size last week, and it was about a 1,200%. So let's pull it back a little bit. That's interesting that it's not showing that to you guys. Something seems a little off here, because I actually have it at 2.7, but it's showing 3.0 on the screen. So give me a second here. Let me think to myself why it's doing that. I'm going to back out. Yeah, it's frozen. Huh, interesting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to disconnect from this. So stand by. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to start sharing again. But, so give me a second. I'm just going to do a complete reset of this screen sharing system. It looks like it's frozen right now. Huh, it is. All right, let me restart it. Give me about 60 seconds here. Of course it happens right in the middle of while we're doing a trade, right? All right, so there's that. Going to take me a little bit longer. Let's see if this works. That worked. Very interesting. Very interesting that all of a sudden it's not working. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. Of course that's how it works, right? I just can't get it to work. Let's see if it comes back. Okay, there we are. Sorry about that. Un-effing believable. All right. CAD JPY sell. Let's go back to that. So quotes, CAD JPY. We're going to trade. I've got a 2.70 lot size. Now you can see it. I'm going to, so there you go, 2.70. I think that's still probably a little high to give me 2,000% margin level. But watch. I'm just going to go ahead and hit sell right here, and we'll be into a trade. And there we go. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to bid to where my initial trade was getting me at about 2,000% margin level. I'm not saying that's the secret sauce, but it's certainly the secret sauce for what we're trying to do here. We're trying to push an account, not insane, but we're trying to push it and be profitable and give ourselves enough room to get out of this if it goes against us. Now, what do we always do? So we're at 2,000% margin level. That is what I'm making all of my decisions off of. All of them. I don't give a shit about the drawdown. It has kind of a reference, but basically drawdown is the amount of money the robot is using at any given time, or you're using if you're manually trading, but it's the drawdown is the amount of money that it's using. So it's actually in profit right now. Okay? It's in profit right now. You might say to yourself, Terry, there's no way that you're entering these trades and they immediately go into profit. Listen to me. If you understand how to trade manage, it doesn't matter what pair you enter on, doesn't matter when, doesn't matter what direction. It doesn't matter. You can make money on anything if you understand how to manage it. So, one thing we don't have is a take profit price. I have entered a trade. I want a take profit. Beware, people freak out when I say that. They're like, Terry, copying your automated feed and there's no take profit there. That's correct, because typically when you copy, you do not need the take profit to show on your chart. You just need the trade to close when mine closes, and that's how a copy works. So don't get all caught up. But when I'm doing this, especially these manual entries, I want to set an area where if it goes to, go ahead and get me out automatically. I'll probably be out on the beach drinking a margarita. You know, it'll all happen automatically. So let's do that. Let's go look at the chart. So we're in a sell trade. So I just click on that. I go to chart. And here we're on the day chart. The day chart is pushing up really hard. Let's look at the 15-minute. So it's interesting that we kind of got, I mean, sheer luck that, although we're very lucky, that we're getting into a trade that appears to be at the top of its push. If you go to the day frame here, the day time frame, look at that big green candle. It's just pushed straight up. It takes a lot for them to do that. That means that we may get a pullback or we may get a run, okay? Which is the opposite of way of the direction we're going. So let's pick, as far as the chart goes, let's pick an area on, I'm going to kind of look at the time frames here. Here's the 30-minute. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, that's some crazy whacked. And I'm purely guessing here. So don't, you know, I'm in a sell trade. So will it come back to, if it comes back, where is it going to come back to? It seemed like it really liked this area right here. I'm freaking I'm a hack. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it seems like it was hovering in this area and it's pushed away. Do you think it's coming back to that because we sold? It very well could be. So let's put a line at the top of that area. So I'm going to put a line on the chart about right here. That's where I'm going to go far as my take profit, if the price is going to act normal per se and push back down to there. So how do I do that? How do I figure out what that price is? What I'm going to do is I'm going to click this icon at the top here and put a horizontal line on the chart. So there it is. I just click that. It's going to give me the ability to put that in my clipboard. And now wherever I click on the chart, I'm just going to kind of drop it somewhere. And now I can move it. Okay. So I'm just going to put it right there. Like, just pure absolute guess. Because I'm really doing this for practice. Once I set this take profit, I'll tell you what we're practicing. So you can see the price on the screen, 102.915. That's where I'm going to set my take profit for this trade, 102.915. Now, if you can't see that, what you can do is there's a little white dot right here. If I hold my thumb over that, I get this menu. I go to properties, and I can actually double click this 102.915 and put it in my clipboard. So let's do that. So I click it once, click it twice, click copy, okay? And then what I'm going to do is come back to this trade. I'm going to hover my finger over this area, and I'm going to go to modify because I want to modify this trade that I'm in, and I want to set the take profit. Okay, so I'm going to click modify. And then here's the take profit right here. You can do the plus or the minus buttons and take it up and down. As soon as you touch it, it's going to grab the current price. I don't want that. I want the price that we determined. So I'm going to double click that with my thumb. You see where it highlights it, and I'm just going to hit paste. And now that's the price that I wanted, 102.915. I'm going to click modify in the middle of the screen there. And now you'll see 102.915 is my take profit. So this thing will either automatically push down and take profit, or it will go against me. When it goes against me, I have two options. I can either scale into another 2.70 lot size sell trade and drag mathematically, bring the take profit a little bit closer because I got 2 trades. There's some trades going off. GBP USD sell trade just happened in the full algorithm. So anyway, I'm doing 2 things here. I'm either going to scale in if this moves against me, and when do I scale into a trade? Okay, I should finish the sentence. I'm either going to scale in, or I'm going to go, shit, it's went too far. I'm going to put it into recovery. That's it. That's it. End of story. So you see how to enter now. And when am I going to scale in? Let's say it goes against me. I'm not looking at drawdown really. I'm looking at the margin level percent. Let's say it goes against me, and my margin level percent goes from 2,200 to 1,000. At that point, I have an option. I'm not saying 1,000 is the magic mark. I can go, you know what? I can scale into one more trade here, or I feel like it's pushed too far against me. I'm simply going to drag the recovery robot on to this trade. Now, even though this is a manual trade, I can open up this manual trade because I have the MetaTrader 4 account number, open it up in the desktop on my VPS server, and simply drag the recovery robot over to it, and it will take over everything here. Now, if you want to be a day scalper, you enter this trade, and you could be in $100 profit right now. We could literally hold our finger over this. We could go to the close, and I could close this with whatever profit it's telling me here. I can sit here and wait till it's 100. I could click close right now and take that $100 and be a day scalper. I'm not going to do that because I want to practice. I want this thing to play out, right? But pretty cool. Are we, let's talk about this. Am I just lucky, or do I have a skill set? Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of both. Once you start living in the margin percent level based off of what's going on here. Now, if this was a live account and I just did this, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'll take the $100, right? Like, boom, that was easy. How long were we in that trade? 5 minutes, right? So quite a bit of movement there. But that is the thing. If you do these random trades, you'll get to a point where you'll get kind of cocky and you'll think that you can analyze the chart. Oh, it's pushed up really hard. Had we looked at this chart, I would have said sell. That doesn't mean it's not going to continue going up. Doesn't mean it's not going to come down to our take profit. In fact, I can hold my finger over that line and delete it, and you'll see my take profit line is right underneath it. Really, really cool stuff. Now, what we typically do, here's what's been happening. We come back the next day to look at this and manage it, and it's taken profit. Okay, move on. You still are going to learn something from that. You will learn how long it takes before you get yourself in trouble. It's just odds. Like, there's 2 different types of people that go to the casino. Those that go for pure entertainment and have no strategy and they blow all their money, or people like me that go with a strategy to make money. I go with a strategy. My strategies are simple on craps, on roulette, on blackjack. My strategies are simple, but I win most of the time, 98% of the time. The only time I lose in gambling is when I go for one of those goddamn machines like the roulette machine or the bubble craps machine. They prevent you from bidding the amount that you want over about $200, and they eat me up every time. So I pretty much, other than for entertainment, I pretty much refuse to trade, to gamble with any of the machines. I want the table. I want the roulette table. I want the craps table. I want the blackjack table. I can make money on each one of those. But my point behind that was I have a strategy. Even though random trader is not a strategy, it's still a strategy. My strategy is to randomly enter a trade and challenge myself to manage it into profit. I haven't had to manage one of these trades. Not one. We'll get there. We might even, and probably will, blow out an account doing this because I'm not staring at this all day long. That's also think about it, the emotional power of trading. Stop staring at it. Stop stressing about it. The moment you start stressing about your account, put recovery on it and move away. Move away. So to recap, we're in this trade. We'll see what goes on. But to recap, I introduced you a couple bots today. A grid trading robot, and once you're a subscriber, there'll be a section inside of the Discord group. And as a matter of fact, what did I name it? Let me look real quick. There's a new menu area called Level 1 Robots. Why did I say Level 1 Robots? Because we're going to have two levels. Level 1 is going to be the beginner level. Beginner gives you a handful of robots. Certainly two of them will be the grid trader I talked about today and the double hedge that I talked about today, which I'm running on live accounts myself, at least right now in this market. I'm not always running those, but my robot incubator gives me the ability to tell you what might be better right now given this market. So I'd be telling you right now, the grid trader is working really well and the double hedge is working really well. And here's the set files. So I think it'll be so much more, the membership will be so much more dynamic because there'll just be so much more flexibility and power. And if you're like, hey, Terry, I bid too much on that bot on my account, what do I do? Well, you drag the recovery system over to it. Here's the custom settings. Good luck, right? And you're basically creating profits automatically on autopilot with just a little bit of understanding and management. When I say management, how long does it take me to manage my accounts? On a daily basis, I spend almost no time managing my accounts. When I do need to manage them, the amount of time that I spend in the actual effort is 60 seconds. That's it. 60 seconds. The rest of the time is just patience and watching. Weren't we just up like $188 as I was sitting here talking? Getting a little bit of movement back and forth. But you can also see at a 2.70 lot size or $27 per pip, you can make some decent money in a short period of time. And CAD JPY is not that volatile. JPY is, but it's not that crazy. What's CAD JPY? 80 to 100 pips a day, I think. Whereas GBP NZD is like 300-400, maybe more. mataf.net/volatility, or just go to mataf.net and click on their Forex volatility. You'll be able to sort all the currency pairs and look at how much each one moves, just get a feel for that stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. One little side note, if you're new, I'm going to tell you this. New people get upset when they see a consistent 1% to 2% profit a day. Maybe even every couple days. They're like, this sucks. But if you're bidding for 1% to 2%, and that's just what it's giving you, you're going to get a day during the month that gives you 30%. And if you average that 1% a day plus the 30% in one day, you literally doubled your profits, your percentage of gain, put it that way. You went from 30% at a percent a day to a percent a day and then having one day at 30%. You just have to understand that that's how the market's going to work. Using these algorithms right now, the grid trader and the double hedge, I'm pushing them. The market's extremely favorable. I'm extracting my money. I'm extracting at least a couple $100 a day from the market, at least. Probably more than that, if I look back. And then what do you think I'm doing with that? I'm holding that in Bitcoin. You can and should do the same thing. A lot of people are expressing a lot of fear lately. Tariffs and the market and the news. You've got to let that all go. Here's the hardest thing to let go of. And I'm speaking from experience. When your skill set, when you were trading and your skill set was half of what it is now, and you were forced to take some losses because it just wasn't working in your favor, that can leave you living in fear That can leave you living in fear. That can leave you, and it's happened to me. There's been times when I pulled my accounts back so far, I was like, oh my God, I just have to be conservative. This is driving me crazy. But now, with the ability to diversify, one of the big reasons I see people get themselves in trouble is trading the exact same pair across multiple accounts. Like, what are you doing? That's just a level of, that's greedy. So you think this is going to be a great trade, so you go add it to all 8 of your accounts. Not good. But also living in fear is not good. I see a lot of people, I don't know, I'm backing out right now. I don't know, I'm not going to trade right now. Or when's the best time to trade? Or do you think I should switch to the stable profits feed? If you're following along every day, like right now, if you had access, and I know you don't, but you will, if you had access to the grid trader or the double hedge, you'd probably go, I want to trade those things. Well, if you're already in some trades, you simply drag the recovery system onto there. You let the recovery system clear out your trades. You don't have to use recovery just in a bad scenario. You can use recovery to go, you know what, this trade isn't going anywhere. I'm not feeling it. Let's just get me out. You put it on there, it'll get you out. Instead of walking around with an empty box full of hope, hoping someone fills your box up for you. No puns intended there at all. At all. So that's it. I'll let this play out. And if I make some changes to it and manage it, I usually look at it in the evening again. I'll share everything I'm doing in the group. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, April 8th. What do we got? We just had another GBP USD just took profit in the full algo system. While I'm sitting here jacking my jaw, we're taking profit. So I'll send you out with this. Appreciate you watching. Join us. If all of this is over your head and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, I'm working on getting better at giving you the steps that meet you where you're at. I'm working really hard on that this week. If you're like, this just doesn't make sense, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, my phone number's on the screen. And can you do me a favor? Subscribe, maybe leave a comment that you're even watching. If I launched any seeds or ideas with you, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're getting from this. Because you guys are just silent as hell. And I get it. You plug into the automation, you walk away. Most people aren't even, watching the live session. They watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, get involved, subscribe, comment, call, text me first, right? But we can get on the phone and we can talk about this. It is not that difficult. So I'll leave you with this, and I'll see you tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, April 8th. Take care.
Smart investors are flocking to the FX with Terry automated trading system. This is 100% fully automated Forex trading. This intelligent AI trading algorithm works for you 24 hours per day. Daily live results and nothing but net profit. No other system comes close to the automated profit potential of this system. Start trading for free today with 100% help and support by visiting fxwithterry.com and plug into the profit-making potential. Real trades, real profits, zero analysis. Join the top 10% of traders that are winning every day through automation. fxwithterry.com is your path to Forex trading success.
Thank you for joining us on the Forex Trading Daily Live Show. Get access to all of the free trades with full auto trading at fxwithterry.com. Be sure to subscribe and get notified of the daily live stream. And get ready for your next profitable Forex trade.